welcome to Too Slow Too Old, the almost finished journal of a 50-year-old idiot trying to run his first marathon, and I use the word run advisedly. You can thank my son for this hat. This was the condition that he pledged some money to my charity. So yeah, this one's for you, Fred. And if anyone else is interested, I ran for Dementia Concern. The link is down below to my enthused page, and I can still collect. They can still collect. Please feel free to donate if you feel the urge. So this is it. This is week 16, the final week of the marathon training block, ending in the marathon itself. Really, not very much to report this week. It was 3 very small little runs, 2 5Ks and a 3K, just to keep the legs turning over, and then the event itself. So we'll rattle through. Tuesday was just a 5K. They've called it a training run, so not quite an easy run. So I did put some effort in the final kilometre of it, and you can see the footage here. All right, that's weird, I can't see myself, hang on. There we go. 5K, we're into the final week of marathon training, week 16, 5K, easy run, training run, I don't know what the difference is. I went and played golf yesterday. My hamstrings are a little bit fatigued as a result. Whether that was a good idea or not, I don't know. But it was fun. I'm just as bad at golf as I am at running, so that's entertaining. So, 5K done, mostly in zone 2. Last K, a bit of an acceleration. Don't know quite where I ended up on that. Not particularly fast, but just trying to keep it interesting. And this is the last run that isn't marked easy run on the calendar, so I thought I might get some use out of it. Anyway, I don't feel at all ready for a marathon. My legs feel quite, not jellyish, but a little bit tired after that 5K, and I know 5K is still a distance. I was hoping I'd be impervious to that by now. Still, mustn't grumble. I've hit, up until now, touch wood, I've hit every run on the plan, albeit I failed that 29K run, and I've had to walk bits of others. But yeah, I've done everything. I've been out. I've not missed any, which is, I've rescheduled a couple, but I've not missed any, which is unheard of, especially for a 16-week plan. So I think I feel, or I should feel, about as confident as I could possibly feel. And the fact that I don't is just natural, and it's a jump into the unknown. I've never run a marathon, so until you do, I guess you just don't know what to expect. Don't know what the weather's going to be like. If it's warm like this, I think there might be trouble. I'm hoping for a nice covering of cloud, but not chilly, and no rain. Maybe a little bit of mizzle. All right, that'll do. And then Thursday, so it was evenly spread out this week. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and then the big thing on Sunday. Thursday was another 5K. This one was marked easy run, so I did take this one very easy. I have to say, I was already feeling almost a bereavement from the end of this program coming up, which sounds weird because it's been horrible at times, but it's been a constant, and it's been a metronome that has kept me ticking along over the last 4 months. So feeling it wind down palpably was quite emotional. But anyway, Thursday's little 5K went like this. Here we are, 2 left. 5K today, 3K on Saturday. Nothing much more to say really. 5k, easy. I mean, I should be taking it easy. Nerves are starting to kick in. Well, actually they've been starting to kick in for a while. Yeah, I'm just going to get on with it, stop talking. And that is 5 easy kilometres done. And it was relatively easy. I took it easy. It felt fairly easy, at least for the first 4. And then the sun started beating down, even though it's not that warm. And that raised the heart rate a little bit. So it's going to be another 5 or 6 degrees on this on Sunday apparently. So it's going to be what it's going to be. We just got to turn up and deal with it, right? Yeah, I don't know, relatively niggle free. Still feeling a bit in my hip, so I'm going to go and take the massage gun to that when I get home. I don't know if I'll put the video in, but I went to the expo yesterday and there was no queue for any of the sports massages, so I got one of those and that was really good, but didn't quite get into the bit at the front of my hip that's causing a problem. Got my calves sorted out and got my glutes well and truly pummeled, and my quads, oh Jesus, my quads. Elbows in the quads, man. It's not a good thing, especially when you're lying there squealing in amongst a crowd of other people that you don't know. Anyway, hopefully it was worth it. Certainly very good job. That's really it now. 3k shakeout on Saturday, and then all I've got to do is get myself to the church on time on Sunday. Do you know what? I'm starting to think about missing this bit, the videoing bit, and all the editing and all the shenanigans that goes with that, more than the actual thought of building up to the marathon itself. I have to keep going, I suppose. Find something else to bore you with. Yes, that'll be fun. I have a few ideas. Right, stop waffling. And so to Saturday. Saturday was the final training run, 3k shakeout run. Again, easy, just plod round one circuit of my little 3k lap, and that was it really. It was just to prove to myself that I could still run, because I was feeling a little bit rusty, and I think I've heard this from plenty of people that have done marathon training blocks or any sort of race training blocks. You get to the end, and especially if you've done a significant taper, you kind of think, can I still run? Turns out no. But it was, yeah, it was all right. I did feel a bit rusty. I do feel this week I felt like I hadn't trained enough and that my fitness was dipping off. And my VO2 max, as indicated by my Apple Watch, which I know is not the most accurate thing in the world, but you can see trends, was dropping, which I thought was alarming coming to the end of such a big training program, but there we go. Anyway, Saturday's shakeout run went like this. This is it then, the last training run. Not quite sure how I feel about it. 3k, just a gentle lap, shakeout run, make sure I can still remember how. And yeah, that's it. Get on with it, eh? Well, it's only fitting that you're here at the end of this marathon training program. And that was it. 3k done. Excuse me while I stop my watch. And all that's left now is tomorrow, and a day full of resting today. An excuse finally to put my feet up on the sofa and do nothing. Thank you anyone and everyone who's watched along, and I hope it's brought you some measure of enjoyment, and I'll see you after tomorrow. And so to the main event, the reason that I don't know, one of you has been hanging around for the last 16 weeks or 16 videos. The marathon itself. Oh boy, if any day could have conspired to be worse for a first marathon, it was this one. Beautiful. What a beautiful day for a start. Bright sunshine right from the outset. I mean, I was in one of the last waves to start because of my predicted finish time. I put on 5 hours, I think, 5 hours plus. So they slung me at the back, as you would. And I wasn't due to start until 11:15. We left here about 8:30, which, despite what my wife thinks, actually was my schedule. I did have kind of a plan, and we kind of stuck to it. There was a bit of a delay on the overground train, so I was about 5 minutes later than I wanted to be, but plenty of time to do the unmentionables. And spoiler alert, I got my big poo out of the way before the marathon. I didn't need to go to the loo once all the way around, which I was quite impressed about. But it was hot. Boy, 10:30, 11:15, when we were starting to think about mustering around the start spot, it was already hot. I think my watch said it was it 19 or 20? It was up there with how hot it was going to get, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was expecting, the weather forecast had said it was going to be cloudy up until about 11:30, 12 o'clock, something like that, and then gradually clear. Nope, no clouds at all. So full force of the heat. I decided to wear a white t-shirt underneath my running vest, which I still don't know if it was a good idea, but I think the running vest wasn't helpful because while it was meshy on the outside, it had a kind of impermeable membrane underneath, so it wasn't letting any air through, which wasn't helpful. I had run in it before. Obviously it wasn't as warm, so I hadn't noticed a problem, but I'm getting my excuses out of the way early. That wasn't helpful. I was also wearing the black headband, which I usually wear, as you've seen me look like a tit in most of these videos. And I realized part of the way through that, I thought my head was going to explode. I just felt like I was getting heat stroke, and possibly that was just the black headband doing what black does and pulling in all the sun's rays and concentrating them on my head. So that came off, and yeah, I'll show you. There's too much video. I think it's probably me bleating most of the time, and I've had most of a day to reflect now, so maybe we'll do the video first, and then I'll talk to you about how I'm feeling now. So here it is. Here we go. Morning. It is the start line. I'll pop you up in a minute. Actually, I'm right by the toilet, so I won't. I'm going to move over this way, through this mass of humanity, towards where the start lines kind of are. Made it in plenty of time. I've only got 45 minutes left to wait, and I've been too late. So it's all good. All is good. We've got a very loud man on a microphone. Probably it's going to be too loud for me.
Smile to the camera up there. This is quite the image. What was I doing on the hill on the back as well? This is what the London Marathon's about, isn't it? So, what's your name?
Imagine this was rather quieter than it has been, because we're towards the end.
What's the choice of outfit today? Is this the new running gear that's coming into fashion?
Last wave is 11:30 and I'm in the 11:16 wave. So here we go. Probably looks really empty now, doesn't it? I'm just in the middle of no one.
On a sunny day like today, you're going to catch a tan and look incredible.
Anyway, that's enough of that. I'll speak to you closer to the start. Alright, we are being kettled. Wave 16, and that loud man is still there. Wave 16 is here. And the I think I've got about a minute before we set off. So, warm-up's done. Last gel, first gel taken. Here we go. Shoes tied, socks pulled up. Last P done. I'm about as prepared as I can be. Let's see how the first 5K goes. I'm going to stick with these 5:15 paces, I think, to start with, because they're right there, and that seems about realistic. Wait!
No, I'm too nervous. I know, I actually feel like I'm fine. This is just your mate.
This is B-roll.
Wave 16 or below.
Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck. Thank you.
Here we go.
Remember any of your photos, videos, and of course that medal moment at the end. We want to see you with the hashtag. It's what you're doing. It's the hashtag London Marathon. Go girl. So runners, you look fantastic, and a way to stay feeling fantastic is make sure you're
Oh, I've immediately lost all my paces. Just crack on then. See you in a bit. That's 5k in and a bit. That's predicted heart rate well above Z2. I don't feel I'm doing anything. It's bloody hot. The atmosphere is amazing. We're barely even scratching the outside of the city yet. And everybody's probably gone because we're at the back. An uphill chunk. Excellent. See you in a bit. Suppose I should do a bit at the cutting start. And also, hopefully, you're going to see definitely around here somewhere. Where is anyone's guess? Maybe they didn't go past cutting start and. Oh mate, that was for you, if you caught the end of it. Probably didn't. Here's Flower of Scotland in bagpipes. Good grief. Well, pride comes before a fall and all that. We're 16k in and I'm walking. It is too hot. It's just sapping. What I don't want to do is fall over and not be able to get up. So, discretion being the best part of valour and all that. Looks like it's going to be a Jeffy one. Well, I suppose I better run up this bit. Nearly 25k in. Walking again. This is hard. I've lost count of where I am. 6, 12, 18, 24, 29k and a bit. Just settling into a slow trot through Canary Wharf. Sun's in, which is lovely. Let's see how long I can maintain this for. Well, apparently, back there somewhere is the real Joe Wicks. I'm not entirely sure how I'm in front of him or why, but people are cheering for him. So good for us. Here we go, around the corner to old home base. Don't know why I didn't just run to it more often. Just past 21 miles. The old mantra, every step is the furthest I've ever gone. I think they knew that. Right, so hopefully Mrs. Nash is around here somewhere. On the right. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you. Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. Here's another Radox thing. Around 23 miles. Could Becky be here? Thank you. Hello. I need to stop for a bit. Oh dear God. It's horrible. So hot.
It's so hot. You feel boiling. You're disgusting.
Yeah.
Nothing's
Down Thames Street, low at Thames Street. Where I started my career. Started on the first and second floors here, above what was a BMW garage. And that fine old building over the road. Right, now we last little chef through this tunnel, and then it's, I think, 3k to go, or thereabouts. And then it's over. Thank Christ for that. So here's this then. About a kilometre and a bit left. Oh my God. This is so very, very tough. Out in the sun again, lovely. Oh well. Let's get running for that last cave. 385 of the longest yards of my life. Let's live them together. finish today. Nothing at all. We're lucky there's a jog finish.
Well done, ladies. Everyone else is excellent. You've gone round beautifully. Well done, ladies. You're not the marathon finisher.
Got that first 200 yards. Wasn't too far. This second one seems to be disappearing off into the distance.
What's our finish? 2.2 meters. Well done, 5 meters you there. 10 Wait, some shot, yes you are, but well done.
Videos carrying a tune with the purple colour. Perfectly normal. That you'll see here.
Nothing to see here, actually.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow. I'm supposed to do that again next year. Oof. I'll have to think long and hard about that. Right, let's find some goodies. Thank you. There's that. And it's got another side too. All worth it. It's quite heavy, I'd say so. Right, so immediate reaction. 42.2k done. That did not go according to plan, as much as there was a plan. The heat from the sun was so oppressive right from the start that I don't think it would have mattered what pace I'd gone out at. That was just brutal. Oh. And by 16k, I don't know, my head felt like it was going to explode. It wasn't particularly a fitness thing, although I suppose I could have trained in hot weather somehow. But yeah, that was difficult. Really, really difficult. I'd never considered dropping out because, you know, worst case scenario, you just walk round. But it was hard to get back to running or jogging. I think I finished inside 5:20. I'm not sure. My watch said 5:20. I have no idea what the chip time's going to be. So I don't know. I'm a bit at a loss at the moment. Bit down. It was much harder than I thought it was going to be. And I hope that was basically the weather. And then once I'd started walking a bit, there was no impetus to keep running when I got back to running. So it was a Jeffy marathon, but a marathon nonetheless. So I'm chuffed that I've done it. I've set myself a target for next year. God, next year. And maybe I'll learn a couple of things for training for next year. Thank you all for following this and for supporting me, and your best wishes, your thoughts and your donations that really made a difference actually when I was umming and ahhing whether to just walk the whole thing. So yeah, that really made a difference. And before I forget, Aaron, this one is definitely for you. You take care of yourself and let's have that beer when you're back up and running. I need to have a sit down, and then I don't know. I don't know what comes after that. I think I beat Joe Wicks to the end, by the way. I didn't hear him come past. Just goes to show you aerobics ain't all it's cracked up to be. So yeah, again, I haven't watched that back yet. I'll do that on the edit. I have a feeling, and I remember from running that I was feeling quite sorry for myself for most of it. So apologies if either it was terrible or I've just cut most of it out because it was terrible. I tried to be honest on here, so I should have left most of it in, I think. But positive points. Number one, it's over and done with. That's the culmination of 4 months of my life. I didn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't run the whole thing. I was pretty gutted about that yesterday. I'm less so today. Yeah, it was just, I will blame it on the environmentals almost entirely. It was too hot. It was too hot for me, certainly, and many, many other people who were walking a lot of that course. It was too hot. I felt pretty good for the first 14 or 15 kilometers. And then, as I said, I thought my head was going to blow up. So I had to stop and walk. I did not feel good at all. The first half of that course, there's barely any shade. So I was trying to stick to trees and whatnot, tree shade where I could, but they didn't really last. The second half of the course, where you're going through a lot more built up areas, was much easier to navigate, and the sun went in a bit, certainly towards the end. So actually the second half wasn't too bad, but I was kind of broken by the first half. And I think that first stop, I think it was around 16 and a half kilometers. It was before Cutty Sark. Sorry, no, it was before Tower Bridge. And I'd kind of set myself a target of running the first half marathon, because I know I can run a half marathon. And I know I can run a half marathon a damn sight quicker than I was running that. But no, it just, the heat killed me. And then once I'd stopped, A, it was hard to get going again, and B, there was no impetus for me to keep running further than was marginally comfortable. So it was a case of, I don't know, run a couple of kilometers or 3, walk half a kilometer, rinse and repeat. I did tell myself that I had to run the last bit, which I did, and that was really, really hard. This was, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, this was the hardest physical thing I've ever done. It was, and mental, I suppose. I don't know, maybe not mental, but certainly physical. It was brutal in that heat. Yeah, it wasn't easy. And today, I am proud of myself for getting through it. I had this notional 5-hour time in my head. I wasn't setting a target, but I thought 5 hours would be a good first marathon. The weather blew that out. So 5:26:20, I think, is my time. And that's the target for next year. Now I've got much more of an idea about what it entails, and what the preparation was pretty good, I think. I don't know about the taper. I think the taper probably took a bit too much sharpness off, so maybe a bit less of a taper next year. But yeah, the training program was all right, and I can tailor it a little bit now with the knowledge that I've got. But it is what it is. I got round. I'm a world record holder. I'm one of the 56,000 and some odd that made that the largest finish in marathon history. And I suppose most importantly, there's this lovely thing. So yeah, it's done. And thank you, really. Thank you to everyone who has supported me and followed this and given me comments and jumped in on Strava, and to my friends and family who have been there, especially my wife, long suffering, who have been there throughout this program. Thank you very much for putting up with me and supporting me. Aaron, who I mentioned in the video, is going through some stuff at the moment, and he will be back and raring to go soon, and we will celebrate this together. So I don't know that I've got much more to say now, other than maybe what's next for this channel. 16 feels like an odd number to finish on, so, and I'm not going to stop running. At least I'm not going to stop running until this time next year. I've got some other stuff planned. I think I want to work on some speed, but more than anything, I've kind of enjoyed this weekly process, or this periodic process at least, of putting these videos together. And if you'll have me, I think I'll stick around. May not be quite as frequent as this, but I will drop the odd one in. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thank you again. Goodbye. Goes with that shenanigans. Using the Insta 360. Jesus, I can't talk today. It's never lupus.